Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. You join me down at the storage yard on a lovely summer's day, and today we're going to be replacing the hinges on the freezer door of our Dometic fridge. Whilst we were away in York, one of us went into the fridge, I think it was Juliet actually, went into the fridge and the door for the freezer came off in her hand, and when I looked to try and fix it and put it back, I realised that both the hinges had cracked and they were useless. We needed the freezer, so I did a temporary fix. I have to admit, it's not one that I will recommend to anyone, but at the time I was desperate, and I'll show you what it was in a moment. Also, we're going to replace the hinges with new ones, and I'm going to show you a little tip on perhaps how you could make these fridge freezer hinges last a little bit longer. So let's go inside and I'll show you the problem. So that is my temporary fix, and I have to admit it's awful. But it did work whilst we were away. But we're now going to remove it and I'll show you the fault. So let's take a look at that now. Okay, so I've removed the screws and took the actual door off. The hinges are still intact, but obviously they're a bit wibbly wobbly. In fact, they'll come off quite easily. They just wouldn't glue. There's a spring inside here, and the spring is so strong, which is the only good thing on it, I suppose. Once they break, that's it. You're just lost with just these flapping around. You can't glue them. Now, to combat that, I bridged them with these like so. Now, I wouldn't recommend this. Was out of desperation, I believe you me it was. These are the ends of some craft knife spur blades, like that one. They're lethal, don't do it. I wouldn't recommend it. But, as I said, desperate times, desperate measures. So we're going to remove these now, and we're going to show you the fresh new ones, and I'm going to show you a tip on how perhaps we can prevent this weak spot here, which is where the screw goes in, from cracking again. So I'll set up and I'll show you what I mean. So to remove the original hinge, you just need the crosshead or Phillips screwdriver. I know there's differences between them, but I'm not splitting hairs at this moment in time. Now this one, as you can see, it's cracked already, so it's been screwed on too tight in the factory. So that's one. Right, so that's the screws out. So just put them up there out of the way. Right, so once you've taken the screws out, this should just slide out like so, and that's your hinge. So I'll do the other one off camera, I'll come back to you. So here are the original ones I've took off, and they are dirty, yes, because they've got grubby finger marks on them from the glue when I actually tried to glue them together. But you can see that they've both gone right where the hole is for the securing screw. So that is clearly a weak point and a poor design. Now the springs on these, if I just take this off, if I can get it off, try the other one. That's it. The spring underneath here is really good quality. It's a good strong spring, but the plastic that surrounds it is not really up to the job of retaining that spring very well. So therefore you get that weak point, like I said before, where the hole is. So I've ordered two new ones. Let's just put them on one side out of the way. Don't want to see them again. And here they are. They're identical. Now these will work most of the RMS fridges. Now mine is a Dometic RMS 8556, and they fit mine, and they'll also fit the others in the RMS series. So just get them out. So there they are. Now just turn that one round. So here's our weak point here. So I thought about this, and I thought there must be a way that you could perhaps reinforce that without having to use something as drastic as I did, and at the same time it won't rust as well. So I come up with an idea. So I'll show you what I've made. So here they are. I've got two pieces of alloy. Now this is quite thin gauge alloy. I would recommend, if you can get hold of it. In fact, I'll probably leave a link to it. There is you can get small pieces on Amazon. I'd recommend at least 1 mil thick. Now what I've done is I've traced round here. So if you look now, that matches into the hole there. and it can be screwed in like so. Now, what also I did was I actually put a slight curve in them, so they're like a spring, if you will, so that when you screw down, they will push down and hold down on this actual plastic. So that's my little invention that I've come up with to hopefully preserve the life of these hinges. So I'm going to get my screwdriver, and I've just been trying to clean up the inside of the drawer because I've got dirty marks on it from when I was trying to fix it. It's not working at the moment, but I've not got my cleaning equipment, so I'll have to do it at a later date. But so bear with us with the muck on it. It's down to my engineering skills or lack of. Okay, so to refit them, it's dead simple. You just slide this section in like so it marries up, and then you put your screws in. Now, as I learnt with the previous one, don't over tighten these, just tighten them so they just nip them up, otherwise they'll snap. I'll just do this one. That's that. So the screws are fitted in now, and I'm happy with that. The hinges fit snug. I've not over tightened them, like I said, because basically I don't want to crack these as well, because this is really flimsy plastic. Now, the next thing I want to do now is show you the aluminium caps that I've got here. So they're going to fit like so. Now, I have rounded the corners off. I'll show you that in a moment, how to make these. And then the screw goes in like so and tightens up. And that should countersink as it goes in because the alloy is soft. So I'm going to get this inside the freezer now, and I'll come back to you in a moment. Okay, so to actually make the cover plates that I wanted to protect the hinge, I actually drew round the hinge area I wanted to use and protect, and made myself a little paper template. And I got some aluminium. Now this particular aluminium I've got here is 0.75mm, but I probably recommend that you get something on the lines of 1mm. So we've actually drawn round it now, and we can cut it out. Now it is a little bit jagged, so what I would recommend you do is get some files and file it down. Now on the bench, what I like to do is, where the hole is, I've got a 4.5mm drill bit here. I'm going to use that. There we go, very simple. So we've made our template now, and that's where our screw's going to go through. So I'm going to tidy that up with some files. So taking a file, we're just going to file it smooth, take all the burrs off, like so. Now it doesn't matter if it scratches this side, because on the other side, I'll show you in a moment. And what we're going to do, we're going to put a bend in it, like so. So that gives us our springiness, so that when we screw it down, it'll hold flat. Now with this, I've got this protective coating on, so this is going to be my side, which you will see. So you can just peel that off now, like so. And there you have a nice neat edge. So looking good, and it's ready to go on the actual hinge. Okay, so these are the two hinges and these little supports that I've put in, and it works fine. Really happy with the results. So hopefully this should last a little bit longer. Well folks, that is how I replace the hinges on the freezer door of our Dometic fridge freezer. These are pretty flimsy, to be honest with you, and quite a poor design. One screw holds them on, which I don't think that's good, considering the spring is very strong, and that is going to be a weak point. So yeah, I wish they'd redesign these and come up with something a bit better, especially even as a retrofit as well. And going forward, they may have changed them already. So we've replaced them. They were £22 plus P&P on most of the Caravan accessory sites. So I thought I'd look on Amazon, and on Amazon I found them for £19.90 something, I think, 20 quid each. So you can save yourself a few quid if you buy them on Amazon. I'll leave a link below, so if you need them, you can check them out. As I said earlier, these are for the RMS series fridge freezers. There are others as well, so make sure you get the one that's specific to your model should you need to replace them. Well, thank you very much for watching. I do hope you'll join us again real soon, but in the meantime, bye for now.